Thanks for stopping by, guys. Today, we have some strange wrestling news, as well as some great news from Vince McMahon himself. So let's get right into all these topics. Starting off with the crazy news from former WWE superstar Rusev and his wife Lana. It's been a hectic few months and few weeks for Rusev and Lana. You go back one year, and things were quite bad for them. They both weren't on TV and had no real direction. However, both of them ended up returning late in the year, and probably the most unpopular and most hated storyline at that time. Fans just couldn't care less about the entire Rusev, Lana, and Bobby Lashley triangle. Once that mess was over, Rusev was right back to having nothing to do, and there was talks about him being in contract talks with WWE. While Rusev was in talks with WWE, his wife Lana was actually signing a massive 5-year extension with the company. So when the Lana news came out, everyone was kind of expecting Rusev to extend his deal as well. But then everything happened, and Rusev was unfortunately released as part of the budget cuts. Since being released from WWE, Rusev is now going by his real name, Miro. He started streaming and has really fallen in love with it. It even made wrestling news headlines this week when he said that he's officially retiring from the ring in order to become a full-time streamer. I personally don't know if I believe him when he says that. He's still in his early 30s. He has a lot of all-around talent. I mean, we saw how popular he got with the Rusev Day gimmick. So you give him the right things and he really knows how to make it work. So I'm hoping he's not telling the truth there, because he would be such a big talent to lose. He has been very actively talking about Impact Wrestling, AEW, and WWE. So everyone has been speculating about where he actually could end up next. His real-life wife, Lana, just finished breaking up with her on-screen husband of Bobby Lashley. So the door for an on-screen reunion between Rusev and Lana is open. But that's only if WWE is actually willing to take him back. Rusev and Lana were obviously pretending to be split up throughout all the months of their storyline. But now that he's out of the WWE and the story is over, they are finally appearing again with each other on social media. Miro will stop by and make appearances on Lana's YouTube channel, and Lana will make appearances on his streams as well. That brings us to today's big story. Miro was streaming as usual, and everything was going well, until Lana came into the stream. They didn't do anything specifically wrong, but Miro did announce the following day that he was banned from Twitch. As for the reason why he was banned, he joked that he must have been himself, and that he was too hot for his own streams. But knowing Twitch and how strict they are about the rules, I think it was Lana that might have accidentally caused the ban. That seems to be everyone's popular guess as well. Lana was wearing a blue bikini during the stream, but Twitch is very picky when it comes to wardrobe and other things that the streamers are wearing. They don't care if it was an accident or anything like that. If they don't find your look appropriate for their platform, you easily get removed. This isn't Lana's first time dealing with this either. Lana went on a long rant several months ago when TikTok was doing the same thing to her. Lana was wearing the same sort of attires in her TikTok videos, and they kept getting removed, one by one. Lana was obviously frustrated and even posted a TikTok in sweatpants with the caption of, "Let's see if they take this one down." So it looks like the same problem Lana was having over there has followed her to Twitch. Miro did provide another update because it was quite the shocking announcement, especially after he just announced that he was going to be a full-time streamer a few days before all this happened. He revealed that it's just a temporary ban and he will be back as soon as possible. Twitch usually takes it easy the first time with a warning, but the ban won't be light if the same sort of thing happens again. So Miro really has to be careful about both of their attires and wardrobe for future streams. Next up is a really exciting story that I found really interesting and couldn't wait to talk about. WWE recently had their second quarter investors call with Vince McMahon, and he answered a lot of different questions. Vince McMahon was asked about the falling ratings and what WWE plans to do to pick things back up. Vince McMahon didn't get too specific, but he said something that is really interesting and exciting if this does in fact turn out to be true. Vince McMahon had this to say during the call. I think that we can have characters with better storylines. We have new characters coming in to where we are right now, and more content that's not necessarily in ring, but focusing on their personalities and their stories outside of the ring. That was Vince McMahon's answer to the question, and it was a great response. This is by far the biggest issue that I have myself with the WWE. The current in-ring wrestling product is probably some of the best work we've ever seen and the most talented roster in history. However, there's still one big problem, and that's the fact that there's little to no actual story behind the matches, and a majority of the WWE superstars have no character at all. So it really takes away from the WWE product because you have these great actual wrestling matches, but there's no in-depth storyline or purpose to the match at all. So what's the point? Sure, some fans don't care for story, and they'll be happy with just a great wrestling match between two superstars. But part of what makes WWE grow so much into a global company was the insane storylines and big character developments, such as Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon. Obviously, Steve Austin and Vince McMahon never got into the ring and had this outstanding 5-star pure wrestling match, but it was the storyline and the character interaction between Steve Austin and Vince McMahon that really made that story become so iconic. So we fast forward to current day, and it's basically reversed. We see a lot of those 5-star pure wrestling matches, but there's no storyline behind the match, and the superstars have no character at all. So it can be hard for fans to really get invested and care about what they're seeing. This was also something that Randy Orton was arguing about with the NXT locker room just a few weeks ago. Randy Orton said that there are some NXT superstars that think it's all about doing cool things in the ring. Randy said that storytelling also has to be a big part of everything, and that he felt there was a lot of NXT superstars that didn't know how to actually tell a story. Those comments and few others from Randy Orton is what led to him getting into arguments with NXT superstars and fans. But he does have a point. Not only is it a problem in NXT, but it's most definitely a problem across all WWE brands. We just get no time to actually spend learning about a superstar's character, and promo time is very limited and hard to get. So that's why it's hard to really develop a WWE character, because we barely get to hear from them and learn about their characters. However, there are a few characters and stories that are perfectly developed and well thought out. A few of those more elite characters that come to mind are Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, and possibly a few others, but that's about it. I always go with Bray Wyatt as the perfect example of an all-around perfect character. He has fantastic promos that really tell us a lot about his character and his intentions. He has some other things that he does outside of the ring, like the Firefly Funhouse episodes, and he even has 3 separate personalities. So when it comes to overall character development, it doesn't get much better than Bray Wyatt. He is the definition of a well-written and thought-out WWE character. Randy Orton has also stepped up his overall character recently as well. He's back to destroying legends and has become obsessed with taking people out of action. So that's a great direction for his character and makes us fear for whoever he's facing in a big match, because we know Randy's character most likely wants to punt them out of action. Not to mention the other little things, such as when Randy Orton was talking to Christian, who was knocked out on the floor, and Randy was just explaining his actions to him. That's just perfect storytelling and great character development. Same thing goes for Seth Rollins, Karrion Kross, and Scarlett. They're just all special characters that have a real interesting gimmick. So hopefully Vince McMahon keeps that promise there, because that's what we actually need. WWE has a serious shortage of interesting, in-depth characters and storylines. So they really have to do better in that department. The matches are great. We just need actual characters and storylines to make a return. What are your thoughts on Rusev and Lana getting banned from Twitch? And what did you think about Vince McMahon's comments about WWE improving characters and storylines? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.